All right, Emily, thank you. Breaking this hour, a Fox News exclusive. A pair of medical workers who blocked ICE agents from arresting an illegal immigrant in California are now facing criminal charges. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith in New York, and that exclusive reporting from our own Bill Malugin, who we have the pleasure of joining us today. Bill, great to see you.
Hey, Sandra, great to see you as well. Happy Friday to you. I'm Bill Malugin here in Los Angeles. This is America Reports. This is reporting we just got within the last hour or so. The two suspects here now both facing federal obstruction charges, and law enforcement sources confirming to Fox News one of them was arrested earlier this morning. Yeah, Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt, he's got the very latest for us live right now. Jonathan, what are we learning?
Good afternoon, Sandra. Well, this incident happened on July 8th in Ontario, about 30 miles east of Los Angeles. According to the criminal complaint, ICE officers were conducting, quote, roving immigration-related operations when they followed a truck that made a sharp turn into the parking lot of a surgery center. The officers then, quote, decided to conduct a consensual encounter with the three adult males who were inside the truck. Two of them ran. One, who according to the ICE affidavit was, quote, later identified as an illegal alien, ran into the surgery center, and that's where staff at the center got involved. Two of those staff, Jose de Jesus Ortega and Danielle Nadine de Villa, have now been charged for allegedly interfering and trying to block the ICE agents who followed the illegal immigrant into the surgery center. In the video, they could be seen and heard questioning the ICE agents' actions, what they are doing in the center and why they are masked. The complaint says de Villa, quote, wedged herself under Officer 1 and the target alien. And it says, quote, Ortega, who was still standing to Officer 1's left, appeared to grab Officer 1's arm and then his vest. Both Ortega and de Villa shouted at the officer, telling him to, quote, get out and to, quote, let him go. Both were warned by the officer that they should not touch a federal agent. The illegal immigrant was eventually arrested and removed from the surgery center. Immigration activists said at the time the surgery staff did nothing wrong.
In no way are they intervening. They're simply exercising the right to privacy. They're exercising the right to know who is in their building. They're exercising the right to know who is in this building with a weapon, right? And I think it's important to note that that what they did is commendable and it is brave.
The prosecutors obviously disagree with that. Ortega was arrested this morning. De Villa has not yet been found. Sandra?
Okay, Jonathan Hunt with the latest details on all that for us. Thank you. All right, Bill, obviously a lot more to learn here, but thank you to you for your exclusive reporting on all of that.
Yeah, and talking to federal sources, they are actively looking for de Villa right now. They went to her house this morning. She wasn't there, so they talked to her family, and she's considered a wanted fugitive right now. So we'll update when we hear more on that front. More to come. All right, Sandra, we're going to bring in Alex Villanueva. He's the former sheriff of Los Angeles County. He just announced he's running for LA sheriff again. Sheriff, great to see you.
Good to see you.
So you made it official. You want your old job back. A lot has changed since you first ran in 2018. You switched from Democrat to Republican. You initially campaigned on kicking ICE out of the jails. Now you want to work with ICE a little bit more. So I got two questions for you. What changed for you? And you know as well as I do, it's really hard to win in LA with an R next to your name. How are you going to do it?
Well, one, it's a nonpartisan office, Sheriff, so there won't be any letter next to anybody's name. And in 2018, when we did that in 2019, the border was secure under the Trump's first administration. With 4 years of Biden's open borders policy, that's been a game changer on the ground. When you have over 10 million unvetted people that flooded the country, now we have a serious, significant public safety threat that we have to do. So we're kind of competing different threats. And I think now that Bill Asaley, the AUSA here in LA, is now seeking, warrants, criminal warrants, judicial warrants. That is exactly what we asked for 5 years ago. They're doing it today. So a big thumbs up to Bill Asaley for doing that, because that really makes the legal scenario very simple.
We've seen all sorts of interference with ICE here in Los Angeles, whether it's rocks being thrown at agents or, as we saw at that cannabis farm a couple weeks ago, someone actually shot a gun at agents. Now, earlier today, we get this video of these two California medical workers who are being charged federally now for interfering with ICE when they were trying trying to arrest a Honduran illegal immigrant who ran in their facility. This is one of the workers being arrested right now. Just give us your thoughts on the overall big picture of all the resistance we're seeing here in LA when it comes to ICE.
Well, it's misplaced. If people want to protest what ICE is doing, ICE has a legitimate job to do, and they enforce federal immigration law. All these sanctuary policies are basically a joke because, in essence, you can't nullify federal law with a local law. And that false narrative they've been pushing has deluded people to thinking that it's okay to oppose what ICE is doing. No, that becomes a separate crime when you're interfering with a federal, a state, a local law enforcement officer, and those need to be dealt with accordingly.
What's your position on ICE detainers? So if you're sheriff again, I know you're saying you'll comply with federal judicial warrants, but what about ICE detainers? In other words, say an illegal immigrant is arrested for assault with a deadly weapon and he goes into the LA County jail and ICE puts a detainer on him and says, hey, if he makes bail, we'd like you to hand him over to us or at least tell us when he's going to be released. California sanctuary state law says you can't work with ICE. So would you obey that or what would your policy be?
Well, we can actually, with a detainer, as long as we have a judicial warrant that holds them in custody, once the judicial warrant expires, if they want to take them over at the point of expiration of the judicial warrant, that's fine. They can have them. In fact, we think that is the best thing. However, we can't detain them beyond their release date on an administrative detainer. We were actually sued and we lost a class action lawsuit on that very same issue. So the detainers work while the person has another reason why they're in custody here locally.
And the last question, got about 40 seconds left here. Another topic you care a lot about is homelessness in California. If we can pull up this data on the screen here, a recent HUD study showing that there are approximately 187,000 homeless people here in the state of California. Sheriff, when you were in office, there were obviously all sorts of issues, violent crimes, specifically on the LA Metro. It seemed like almost every day someone was getting stabbed or some horrible violent crime there. If you're sheriff again, you know, what's your plan with that?
Well, one thing is we're going to start enforcing the law. We're going to hire 2,000 deputies in 2 years to get us back to full strength. And we're going to go out there and do the things we were doing before when we cleaned up the Venice at the beach, with Brentwood in front of the VA Center, Plaza Olvera in downtown LA. We were successful working with local law enforcement, working with local government, be it the city of LA or small police or municipal cities, cleaning up their homeless encampments, getting people into the shelters. And actually, it kind of is a tough love. Okay, it's time to move on, get out. We have a shelter for you, but you cannot have a way of life of just occupying public spaces and declaring it as your own. And that's what has to change.
Okay. Former LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva now seeking to be the new sheriff of LA County once again in 2026. Sheriff, always great to see you. Thanks for your time.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.